Welcome to 5 Minutes with Scott Harman, 35 years in the business. Scott, let's talk auctions this morning.
Love to.
What's the biggest benefit to a seller by taking their property to auction?
Biggest benefit to a seller? Well, first off, there, Matt, in today's market, putting a price on the property is actually telling the market how much they don't have to pay. Yeah. So why would we do that? So the other thing is that by taking the price off the property, what it allows us to do is it allows us to sell the home for the benefits that it has, instead of trying to justify the seller's asking price amongst the competition. Yeah. So by not having a price on it, what we can do is that we can attract buyer inquiry below the seller's price, at the seller's price, but we can also attract inquiry above the seller's target price. So there is absolutely no benefit for a seller to be putting a property on the market with a price, mate. That's just one of the many benefits.
And from that, what's the biggest benefit to an agent's business by taking a property to auction?
Well, look, it puts structure in their month. We have a cut-off date, and then we get the photography and the ads and the signboards, etc. Then we have a launch date to market, and then of course we have our auction date. So it just puts some structure in their business. But one of the biggest things about the legislation we now have in Queensland, is because it's against Queensland legislation to give price indications on auctions to prospective buyers, it allows the agent to remain in control of that buyer inquiry. So what I mean by that is that when a buyer makes an inquiry on an auction, they always want to know what price. Yeah. So the idea is that the agent can't give out a price. So the agent needs to find from the buyer what budget they were staying in or with what price range they were looking at. Yeah. And then the agent can then make the decision, okay, come along, or no, it's above or below your budget. And of course, we got to script them up carefully so they don't break Queensland legislation. But the biggest thing for both the agent and the seller, Matt, is it just puts a full stop in the campaign, draws it all to a close.
So it's really important what you said there about the buyer qualification. So I guess that it forces the agent to ask better questions.
Oh, very much so. Our business is all about asking questions. You just got to ask the right questions.
Yeah. And I suppose in asking better questions, then we understand the buyer's needs better, and
Correct.
Therefore we can actually assist them in making a better decision.
Absolutely. But the whole thing about it is that the agent remains in control. You see, once again, a lot of buyers will discount a property because of the price on it. Whereas really we want to attract buyers. If someone wants a 3-bedroom home with a pool and a view, we want all 3-bedroom buyers. We want a 3-bedroom home, pool and a view, not just that price range. We want them all, yeah? Because obviously, as you're well aware, Matt, that the true value of anything is the emotional attachment.
Absolutely.
Yeah, absolutely. So what's the biggest barrier for emotional attachment? Price. Yeah, so we just get rid of the price.
So it's not making decisions for buyers as well, I guess, because at the end of the day, we don't really know what the capacity of a buyer is, do we, at any given time?
That's correct. But we certainly do not want a $2 million buyer to be flying up from Sydney, taking time off work, booking accommodation, if the property's got a $5 million reserve.
Right.
That's wasting their time, and that's what, upsets them. And of course it should. So it still allows the agent to remain in control of that buyer inquiry. And I think a lot of agents don't understand the benefit of that Queensland legislation, how to use it for their best benefit. Yeah.
What's the biggest mistake you've seen over your career that agents make with an auction?
Well, one's giving price indications, but a lot of the time, Matt, is that they actually don't generate written offers. That's the main thing. So we always have our sellers will have an expectation, yeah? But our job really, what the seller wants us to do is that every inspection on that property, realistically, our seller wants us to turn them into a buyer. Yep. And then we want to know, well, what do you feel my property's worth? And that's our job, is to actually convert these inspections into buyers. We know that they're a buyer by getting a written offer. And of course, that's great feedback for our seller.
So just to surmise and recap on this little episode we've had, biggest benefit to sellers is no price.
Correct. And the full stop in the campaign, unconditional contract. Yep.
Biggest benefit to the agent is structure.
Correct.
And things to avoid: don't talk price, ask lots of questions. What else would you add to that?
Get them emotionally committed to the property. Okay, that's where we really need to start selling the lifestyle, the benefits of the property, instead of trying to justify the asking price. Now, of course, the big thing, Matt, that you'll know is that we've gone through quite a hectic market of late, and believe it or not, agents are not even phoning people back from their open for inspections. It's disgusting what some of them are doing, but they're falling into bad habits. Agents, some agents are asking me, do you think we need to give our sellers a weekly written report letter? What?
Yeah.
Come on, mate. But that is just standard practice. Of course we do. Yeah.
Maybe we can come back to the written report and the value of that in our next session.
I'd love to. There's still plenty more to cover about the auction process, mate.
All right, mate. Well, appreciate 5 minutes with, and we'll catch you next time.
I really look forward to it. Good on you.
Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, mate.